Hi everyone. By the end of this class, you'll learn the difference between the past continuous and the simple past. Additionally, you'll learn how to express your ideas using both tenses. So let's get started. The first thing that we need to learn is that we'll use both tenses together in order to express complex sentences. So let me give you a quick example. If you want to explain that you were doing an activity such as eating dinner and you were interrupted, let's say by a friend or someone called you. In order to express this idea, you must use the two tenses together. So for example, I was eating dinner last night when my girlfriend called me. So let's look at the definition. We use the past progressive with the simple past to describe an action that was interrupted by another action. So if we look at this example here, they were enjoying the morning. This is the action that was in progress. And there was an interruption. That interruption was that when the thief stole the briefcase. So now let's look at some other examples. So we got about 2 or 3 examples here, and again, we're trying to express that whole idea that there was a continuous action happening in the past and there was an interruption that occurred. So the example here is, while he was escaping from the bank, the robber got caught in the revolving door. So if we look at the timetable here at the bottom, we can see that the past event was, or the past continuous event was, that he was escaping from the bank. All of a sudden, this action was interrupted by this blue event, which is the robber got caught in the revolving door. And then the next example is quite similar. As Jake was running towards the ball, he tripped and kicked it into the wrong goal. The last one is similar. The secretary was making a speech when a protester threw an egg at her. Um, just a quick reminder here, also something that we should keep in mind is that usually, not all the time, while and as will follow a past continuous statement. So as you can see, while he was escaping from the bank, as Jake was running. So typically, these words will follow a past progressive statement, if you will. So what we're going to try to do next is we're going to look at a small paragraph and we're going to try to make sense of it. I will do this one together with you guys and you'll do the next one. So what we want to do here is, number one, we want to identify if the statement will be in the past progressive form or it will be a simple past form. In order to do that, we must follow this concept that I mentioned, that we will use the past continuous for an action that was in progress and the simple past for an action that interrupted that particular action. So the two events are related to one another. Sometimes the events may be separate from each other, and that's the kind of thing that you need to understand. So let's look at the first one. What you're going to do is you're going to use these verbs in parentheses that you see here, and you will either turn those into a past progressive form or a simple past form. So while divers, as I mentioned previously, typically we will use, whenever you see this word, it will typically follow a past progressive form. But let's make sure that it makes sense. While divers were working off the coast of Florida, they, and here we should use this verb. Okay, but then we have to change that into a past progressive form. So let's see. So while divers were working off the coast of Florida, they discovered a shipwreck containing gold worth $2 million. So yes, it looks like this first event is related to the second sentence. Therefore, this is the action that was in progress, and this next sentence is the interruption of this event. So let's kind of like make it work. So while divers were working, that will be our first answer there. Off the coast of Florida, they discovered a shipwreck containing gold worth $2 million. Okay, so that makes sense for the first one there. Now let's look at the next one. The divers. And also the next sentence also appears that there was an action that was in progress and then there was an interruption. Okay, so this one we're going to use the verbs in parentheses. So the divers, and we're going to say where. We're going to take that verb and we need to change that into a progressive form. We're filming a show about the coral reef when they found the gold. And we also need to change that verb into a past form. So there we go. Okay, so what I would like for you to do is to identify whether the sentences are related to one another, and if so, identify what was the action that was in progress and what other action interrupted that first action. So you're gonna do this using the past continuous and the simple past form.